Yeah.
Law and Order into the arrow.
Oh, they take the Alice though, and then the Leo Mord.
They're stuck with their Uranus. They have to pick a Uranus here. Any other EXP laner might be underwhelming. Sora, if you're looking at the Leo Mord and Glue, but again, in terms of the big picture, it'll be awkward.
Not Rizzler though, right?
Terizla, kind of lacking for me. He's just a wall. You already have a wall. You need something that can hold front, but also has good damage.
What's better than one wall?
Uranus.
Uranus, yeah.
Uranus, yes. Not two walls.
He's all the walls.
But also.
Yeah, and he has damage.
Yeah, and he can kind of be more athletic. Because, I mean, even if he had to Purify, the main thing is that he's got to watch out for is
The arrow.
the arrows, I guess. It's just one of those things where it's like, you already got BMI, you might as well just go ahead and use the Flicker, too.
Yes, only because now the main condition for Nesky is to see if Tracy uses stun.
Okay, I'm just scared because this is how his Clint died.
Yeah.
He just said, I'll be better. And then he got caught out once too many.
I mean, the thing about that was, with the Clint, yes, he has that dash, but you really don't think of him as mobility. Claude, once he has those AOT stacks and into the late game, he can move also. Still, it is risky. But we've seen well-rewarded Flickers usages instead of a Purify. Plus, later on, he's going to pack a Winter Crown anyway.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things, too, where you're just like, that's the nature of the playstyle of Netsky. And sometimes, you know, you're kind of left there sitting in awe on how he's able to go ahead and do some of these things that he does. But nonetheless, I think Flicker still will play its part in this composition. Again, he should have a pretty easy time in terms of like dealing with the early game, setting things up around your Kaleo Gord combination for now, and then maybe as well for Ryzen on this Leomord. It'll be different because the last Leomord game we saw from MP, you know, he wasn't able to do really anything.
Yeah. Well, the main thing for the TWISTED lineup is if Sean hits arrow after arrow, then that's as good as any crowd control.
Oh. Whoa! Here comes the barangay. They dogpile onto Lansu, forcing to use that Purify.
Wow.
And Perks even a little too deep. Gets punished hard, draws first blood.
I don't think they were ready for that initiation. I mean, they threw that out there, but again, you don't even have the level 4 on Mingwin.
Yeah, James is also still in lane managing out the minion waves.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, that was just straight up Omega misplaying that.
Yeah, messy initiation. I mean, yes, you get the stuns off, but if you're not loaded, at least with Mingwen's ult, you really can't do much there. And, you know, Revitalize is going to pretty much negate a ton of damage, and that's what Tracy was able to do with the Silos.
If it was maybe James who was there and initiated, I think before Omega would want to do things like that, look at their EXP laner first. The Alice carries a lot of weight with early team skirmishes. Now she's doing a fantastic job in the gold lane, being able to clear minion waves faster, getting a hit or two on the turret as well with the shields.
Omega got punished so hard across the map. They are down on everything. Gold, EXP. This is rare, especially in the series.
Yeah. Now that they're gonna hit their level 4s though, turtle number 2 should go Omega's way unless MP the King is left unchecked. Because even though Selena, as great as a picture she is, if the missile arrow doesn't land and you've seen her transform, you just go ahead and dive on them. A good stop there. Perxiva couldn't get close, and Omega couldn't get that gold crab.
And these arrows.
Again, as long as these keep on hitting, Omega's gonna have a tough time. It's all on Sean as the main bridge for early to mid, or for Omega to once again not respect some certain conditions in team fights.
Yeah, part of the information given from the traps, the arrows, Sean will greatly help them. You know, they haven't had to do too much, and they bought themselves a 1,000 gold lead up to this point. Turtle's gonna be up here in a bit. Ryzen will go ahead and grab his purple buff. We'll see if they're able to set something up beforehand, but most likely just fighting for around the objective. And this is one of the things at this point, because you have a Kaleo, you want to play into that Tsunami Slam, you want to pick that target, but it might be one of those things where you just go, try to get an automatic -1 against them and have the numbers advantage. John will get his first item, Glowing 1, locked in on the Selena.
Ouch.
Oh, Lansu, look at this. jumping on through, scouting everybody out. Pops Consecrate already.
Okay, James catches an arrow to the face, still says no, does not want to take it lying down.
Smart.
And, yep, they back off.
Yeah.
I think Twisted Minds will take this turtle once again. Unless James, thinking about it, throws out the Throne of Ruin into Ryzen's blade and his Ducati as they jump through, finding Tracy, hitting him with that Tsunami Slam. Glorious Pathway trying to save himself. And Lat taking down first. They're coming in. And there's the blading the way by Natsuke, taking out MP. 2 for 1 the trade, but Twisted Minds still get the big one.
Well, Omega needed to get bodies there. First, the approach of Twisted Minds in that fight was they are putting a lot of weight on the Throne of Ruin of James, that when they see the Alice, that's their main target first. Bring it down low, send it back, and if you know it's too risky for James to commit the Throne of Ruin, then you should be able to get the objectives that you're fighting for. Second, they're using the Uranus as their main tool for poke and vision, that Tracy and Sean, especially that Selena, it's easy for them to just hit their target with something. Tracy walks up to it, Sean tosses out the arrow to wherever Lanzu is, because naturally that just means members of Omega will collapse on the Uranus, and then Sean can just stop with an Abyssal Arrow. So the layering, the timing of the team fights for Twisted Minds have just been a little better, but still Omega are definitely in this. It's still a very close game. You're still up against a Claude and the Gord together that can have big ultimates that completely turn team fights around, despite some great execution and timing from Twisted Minds early in a team fight.
Yeah, that's one way you play it, especially with you approaching, you know, when the Lord does come into play here. Of course, they still have another turtle to work through, but there is that synergy. Whoa, mid lane, Tracy pops a Glorious Pathway, should be fine. Perksiva quite low too. These arrows, man, they're a problem. Whoa!
Whoa! And that Mingwin caught out. Could have sworn he was going to be fine. And now up top, Natsuke forced the BMI through. Now Tracy and Nosha going to hunting. BMI will not expire. Blazing Duet used defensively. Arrow coming through.
Whoa!
Oh my God, Ryzen runs over Nosha.
It's James.
Smart Mega's not done. Flames and fade away. Throne of Ruin catches no one. And now the turtle spawns.
Oh, and it's heading up to the turtle. But still, Tracy is low. Could be awkward for Twisted Minds to try and contest this, as Ryzen is here already. No Phantom Seed, as we saw him just use it.
Here comes the big guy. MP the King looking for an entry. Ryzen calls in Barbiel. Oh, it's off of cooldown. That's the Glorious Pathway. No one home. Omega scores the last one.
Yep, good take on the turtle there. Whoa, Tsunami Slam.
And they find Sean. Perksiva serves it up.
Great play on this Kalea by Perksiva. Though they haven't always been able to convert. They've converted majority of it. Perksiva has 3 assists.
All right. Damage control here. Twisted does lose some of that lead that they were building up. Great responses from Omega to deal with this. And again, playing around Tsunami Slam is going to be key for Omega to keep pace leading into the Lord take. But, you know, that's all part of the plan with this kind of composition with the Kalea as Mingwin continues to build up too here. They are tanky enough for Twisted to deal with a lot of these shots, and eventually, you know, you either try to get a Glorious Pathway out, trying to get the Revitalize down. Netsky is farming up like crazy, though. We've seen this with the Claude time and time again, and he's working nearly there to his golden staff. Big lead against Nosha.
They're down overall, but he's up on Nosha. Netsky's saving up money like he's buying RAM.
Hey man, Rams expensive.
Oh, Tsunami Slam answered here by a Glorious Pathway. A little too late because Tracy goes down.
Again, there it is. That's what we're talking about, man. Tsunami Slam in this combo with the Mystic Gush is going to be key for Smart Omega. Surprisingly, even with these picks, Twisted still somehow holding on to some economy lead. They're going to try to get this tier 1 down.
Oh, Lanzu here knocked up, still holding on to that.
Oh.
And there's a Blazing Duet at the back line, finding Sean. Netsky is bloodthirsty, and they spot Nosha. Nosha does drop the Zaman Force, dashing through, taking down Netsky, serving up to Lanzu.
MP!
And then comes MP from the sides, taking down Perks. Now Ryzen looking to repair the situation. Does find Nosha, just a few more swipes, and there's the charge. He finds him, but the rest of his teammates are nowhere to be found. Ryzen, you can't take this, not 3v1.
Twisted Minds, okay, find the clap back. Omega got a little bit too greedy. Nosha got taken out, but at the end of the day, MP the King, hell-bent, holds the Lord for now, but with James and Ryzen close by, Tracy providing the information. You have to slow things down a little bit.
Uh-oh.
He wants to stack.
James does gleam throughout, and then they leave the Lord. It resets hard.
Okay, yeah, surprisingly, they made a quick go for the Lord, but they realized they couldn't secure it safely. They'll try to push up on that top side, but now that everyone's back for this, they'll get in position as MP wants to go and grab his buffs first.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the items here.
Okay, big lead here for MP the King Suyo compared to the Leomord, but it's the lead of the Claude that's keeping them close. Mid laners also still very close in gold, and not one has like a clear advantage over the other, meaning this is anyone's game. Good way to tell. Look at the economy of the mid laners. Problem is, for Omega, they don't have a lot of map to work with.
Whoop. Deep into the pit. He calls it in. Ryzen secures the last-minute knock-up. The Summon Force. Lansu very low. There's a Tsunami Slam. James falls. Everything scores. Netsuke looking to take down MP. And now Nosha gets popped by Ryzen. Dean runs him over. And now MP running for his life. Mingwin, Ryzen and Perk.
Oh!
Projectile thrown out. Fade away, but MP the King will survive.
MP the King had to run away from that. Didn't want to threaten Mingwin, just taking him down real quick. Ryzen cleaning up house perfectly in the mid.
Oh, Sean flickers up out of there. Netsuke burning, he should be fine. And then the push by Cap in mid.
Wow, what a extended fight from a fight into a fight, basically. This Lord was secured. They went for it. The great secure, by the way, by Ryzen, and then they go for this team fight. Tsunami Slam to follow through to take Tracy out. Even though MP ends up getting a kill, Netsuke with a great blazing duet. Ryzen there to help clean things up. And this is the thing about Ryzen, you know, sometimes when he gets in this flow state in these games, he has a performance like this on the Leomord, 7-1-2.
Yeah, very ultimate based is the composition of Twisted Minds, skill based. While yes, Leomord wants to fight with the Phantom Steed, but the Phantom Steed turns him into a basic attack, continuous damage style hero with some really good bursts out of his abilities. Damage profile for Omega, just better. And the little bit of crowd control advantage for Omega in AoE is a difference maker. This is why I was looking at Twisted Minds to get the Alice instead first.
Yeah, ended up being traded out instead.
Yeah, the Uranus was their last best pick, but they're lacking a lot of sure crowd control. Yes, under the Zaman Force there are slows. Under the Glorious Pathway as well, you get a big long stun through the Selena, but Selena Abyssal Arrow's one. Who's your next target, and how are you gonna stop them? Not much.
Yeah. Look at this move.
Stun from
Whoop.
Mickey.
Perciva. Here's a Tsunami Slam, forcing a Purify on a Lansu.
Okay, Purify down, that's one. They do still have to find another, and that's one way to go ahead and approach it. Nasha goes and picks up his next item. He's still holding on to his Purify. That's going to be fine. There's the winner crown for Netsuke. This is what we were mentioning at the beginning of the game. And so far, I feel like the flickers played off well for Netsuke in the way that he's been pretty aggressive on this Claude.
Yeah, he's using it as a finishing tool with a lot of mobility through your main targets in the Harith, Suyo, and even the Selena. That extra bit of flicker and gap closing helps him clean up house.
Okay, now this bit of a calm before the storm breaks out. They look to go ahead and just take some resources from Twisted as the purple buff is secured. Lord is now coming up here at this point. Tracy picks up Chastised Pauldrons. You had one also for Lansu as his last item pickup. Are they tanky and strong enough to deal with this? James will get his own as well. Locks in his core items on this Alice.
Yeah.
He is leading that front side.
Oh, wow. Omega are blitzing it. Sean is way too far off. Tsunami Slam on one. Calling in Barbiel as well. Gosh! Massive retribution secure in the back line. Lansu gets taken down. Everything is running for his life. Netsuke and Ryzen. They shut down MP. And James bullying Tracy out of the fight. 2 free kills plus the Lord go over to Smart Omega.
Very clean, the superior lineup. Twisted Minds were getting some early wins. MP the King was getting some early kills, but as the longer this game goes on, we're getting closer and closer to a 6-0 Claude Day 1 playoffs.
Lord crashes through. Tracy slowing it down. Ryzen calls his Ducati. Nasha calls it in early. The Zaman Force top lane inhibitor falls. And another blazing duet. Coming into the back backline. Nausea is gonna go down. And now the base up next. Nausea's already taken out. Smart Omega are at match point.
Better draft wins.